Hi, this is Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're with me here today because I'm here with my pastor. That's right, you heard my pastor, Reverend Kirk D. Rushing, here at Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. So stay tuned and meet my pastor. And I'm here at the greater Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church with my pastor. And even though I'm not in the frame, it's all about him today. Pastor, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great.
I want my audience to know that this man is a workaholic. Because often you always say that, there's no one more busier than me. So we can't give excuses if we can't do anything on God's program.
That's it.
And the thing is, because you're involved in so many committees, so many boards, you started up the Little League program there in Wynnewood, Oklahoma, and you're always on the go. But also I want my audience to know is that he graduated from Wynnewood High School in 1974.
Yep.
Then he went on from there and he graduated from East Central Oklahoma State University in Ada, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Then from there he also earned his master's degree.
Yes.
And he's been my pastor for how many years, Pastor?
26.
26 years.
Yes.
And I know a lot of churches out there can't say that. So that means something that you've done some tremendous work here. Matter of fact,
just a blessing.
it is a blessing.
Yes.
It's a blessing for
Yes.
us to have you.
Yes.
Church, I want everyone to know that when you come to Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church, we eat on Sunday mornings. So you have no excuse not to be here. Because we have a full kitchen committee.
Yes.
And not just that, I also want everyone to know that under your leadership, we're in a new church.
Yes.
We just walked across from the old and built a new.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, Pastor.
Yeah, that's just God.
Yes.
That's just God. If you trust him, he said he'd do just those things for you. So as a church body, we just trusted him. And he said, it's not about the numbers, not about how many you have. It's just doing his will and doing it his way. And we're just evidence of blessings that he just gives us. And so we keep trying to share, we keep trying to go, we keep trying to reach out. As long as we do that, his name's gonna be spread, and that's the main purpose.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, you work for East Central University.
Yes.
And you've been doing that for a long time.
About 23 years.
23 years. Now,
23 years.
If you would, I'll let you tell everyone, what is it that you do?
I am actually an education opportunity counselor, and we work with students. Actually, our target areas is adults that are 19 and older. But a few years back, we formed together a program where we're actually going to high schools. So we work all the high schools in the area, going in, doing financial aid, college assessments, doing workshop about going to college, what it takes to go to college, and just making sure that not only them, but parents are prepared for the challenge too.
And and you speak all over Carter County. You've been
Yes.
in every school in this county, haven't you?
Yes, yes. We work all the schools here. We have schools in Purcell, Noble, Newcastle. We come Davis, Wynnewood, and then Autumn, Godwin, and I share Carter County. So we travel and just try to help students become complete students and become successful students.
And so you've helped a lot of people get into college.
A lot more than you think, because when you have parents that come and bring their kids and then tell you that you helped them, then you know that, wow, you just kind of been there a long time. So
Now, Pastor, let me ask you this. You've been pastoring for a long time. You come from a long lineage of pastors.
yes, yes.
And what's the Levite tribes?
Just blessed. I don't know. I'm sixth generation. My son is seventh generation. And to be absolutely honest, this was the thing that I didn't want to do. I mean, even when I was calling into the ministry, I didn't mind preaching, but I just didn't want to pastor.
Why was that?
A bunch of it personally was what I saw my father and grandfather go through. So I just didn't want to experience that. And then just the capacity of, and I don't call them pressures now, They might have been precious then, but I don't call them precious now. The load that you have of leading people and directing people, but then you find glory when if you just submit to God, it starts to happen.
Amen. Amen. And Pastor, with what's going on in this country today, you have any thoughts about that?
It's troublesome. Two things. I think God is trying to send a message. And I really think God's trying to get our attention. I mean, I know that it looks bad, and I know somebody's going to think that people are evil, and you're right, people are evil. But God has a plan. He just wants us to surrender, wants us to say, hey, it's in your hands. And I just believe that's what's happening. But then at some point, we've got to have some compassion. We got to have some love. We got to have some understanding. If you remember the poem that the young lady Amanda Gordon wrote, there's an excerpt in that poem that I like. If you don't mind, I want to read that to you. It says, so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Our goal ought to be to leave this country better than what it was left for us.
Yes. That was an awesome poem that
Yes.
young lady gave at the Capitol. I mean, she's a star.
Yes, yes, she is.
And very, very intelligent,
Yes.
articulate with her words
Yes.
too.
And that was just one excerpt out of many that I just wanted to read. But we just devote our time to the future. I mean, I got grandkids in Wynnewood, so I'm coaching and running the league for them and their friends so that they'll be better. That's how we do it.
Planting those seeds, setting the example.
The best, because I worry about the world they're going to grow up in.
Wow. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
Pastor, you're talking about the world they're growing up in, with all the changes that have come about
Yes.
since within the last 20 years.
Yeah, yeah. So you can imagine the shape it's in now, and they're in the 7th, 5th, and 4th grade. And I just, you be thinking, man, it's got to be better. It's
Yes.
got to get better.
Yes, and it's unfortunate, Pastor, and what I see,
Yeah.
because you're talking about the change and things, and it's how we've gotten away from God, really.
Yes, yes, yes. That foundation that, they inundated with games and sitting around doing nothing, not communicating. It's them and their gadget and nothing else, and that's not how it should be.
When I look at television now, the things I see that's polluting and influencing our young minds, besides Victoria's Secret, you're seeing
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
men kissing,
Yeah.
Yeah. and it's not, we're talking regular family television. And then, it's so much more that being pushed on us. Do you have any thoughts about that?
To be honest about it, it bothers us. It does not bother them. That's what they're accustomed to. That's what they think the world is.
You're talking about our youth of
Yeah,
today.
our youth. They don't, that's normal for them now. And that's normal for them at a young age. For us, we're the ones that really freak out. So if that's the case, you got to ask yourself, are you silent with your grandchildren or are you vocal with them? I don't blame them, because if it's wrong, we need to show them that it's wrong.
Yes.
And if we don't, and they're accustomed to it, they're going to believe that's how it is.
Pastor, thank you for that. Because, what you just said, we do need to explain that to our children,
Yes.
to the youth.
Yes.
But then again, we have others out there will tell them, the opposite.
The world was fixed like that. I mean, that's the way it's been. But our thing is, if I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible, then we have to show them biblically what it says and not us.
Amen.
And if we show them biblically, there's no argument, because now they're standing on what they believe.
Yes.
And those that are against God are standing on what they believe. And so we just have to show them that this belief is stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
To speak the truth.
That's it.
To counteract against what they're being
That's
shown.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Just show them that's not what it really is.
Yes. Well, Pastor, I tell you what, I really thank you for this moment because, you know, I did not want to put any pastor before my pastor.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And let me ask, you know, as we're getting ready to close here, is there anything on your mind, on your heart, that you would like to say? I'll give you the final word.
This is what I wanted us to remember. We won't remember the words of our enemies. We will remember the silence of our friends. I found that. I will read that, and it can read several different ways, but we have to remember we can no longer be silent because our enemies are speaking.
Yes, yes, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that, Pastor.
Thank
and
you.
also, I want to thank you and thank my audience for joining me today.
Thank you.
Here with my pastor, Rev. Kirk D. Rushing, and I hope everyone heed to what he's just said.
God be the glory.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge my lovely wife. When Robert spoke in the beginning about us being busy and not having any time, several of our projects, she's in them with me. So that helps out a lot, and for her support, a lot of things we're doing as a family. So thank my children for joining in, and prayerfully there'll be some results from what we're doing now. So God bless you.
Pastor, there is results.
That's what we're
Look at all those
praying for.
kids that's playing
Yeah.
in the Little League there
Yeah.
in Winniewood and
It's a
surrounding
blessing.
area.
It's a blessing.
And by the way, his wife is our First Lady, Sister Colleen Rushing. And just to give a little more acknowledgement about her, she too holds her master's
Yes.
degree from East Central University,
Yeah.
as well as she's retired as a postmaster.
Yes.
And a teacher at Murray State College, an instructor.
Has
Yeah.
them both. Yes.
God,
Yeah.
you
She
guys
retired-
are busy.
She retired twice. So
Thank you for that, Pastor.
thank you.
I just want to say that I'm just so blessed to be at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. Our pastor, he is such a God-fearing man. He just gives us the word every Sunday, and it's such a blessing to be here on this Mount Pleasant Hill. I'm so thankful. Like I said, Pastor Rushing he's a one of a kind. He really is. And we're just so blessed out here at Mount Pleasant to have him and his wife and family that are leading and guiding us as he gets word from God to us.